Welcome back to another episode of For the Love of the Game, man. This is episode 8, and today I got my very first guest, man. This is my big brother, Josh. What up with you, dog?
What up with you?
So, you see this, man. We brought out the poster. We really got it today. So this is my first interview. It's like a interview episode. So I'm gonna be bringing my brother on just to kind of talk hoops and just really got some questions for you. So I'm gonna start off like this.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but like 2009, 2010, I think this back when you used to hoop in the Air Forces, the high tops, back in them days.
Yeah.
You was honorable mention for all conference. So what was it like in them days? Is that when you started, is that when you first started cooking? That's when you seen like, I can hoop. Cause I mean, you had on forces. You was out there, you made the newspaper and all. So
yeah.
What was that like?
It was exciting. Honestly, I think I was a freshman. I was a freshman and I had made varsity and started for varsity too. So that right there really was when I started to notice like I could really go somewhere with this.
Yeah, that's when you was like, I'm probably better than Jalen.
Yeah, I've been there, but
All right. So look. That first one was like, you putting your foot in a little bit, you getting warmed up. But then 2011, 2012, you went second team all conference. So you made it. The first time they gave you honorable mention. But then this next year, you made it. I do my research. You're my brother and all, but I don't know all that.
Yeah.
I try to find out how many points you average. It ain't say that. So you must not have been putting the ball in the bucket enough.
Oh.
But 2011, 2012, second team. So, yeah. But they still ain't give you the first team. So what's going on this year? Like you really like, hey,
I think that's when I really started to put on weight and I really started to be able to shoot from behind the three. So that kind of opened up the game a lot more for me. Because then people had to come out there and respect it. And then I can go to the hole. So
they're playing too close.
Yeah, exactly.
They're playing too close. So, heard that my whole life.
Yeah, so, that's when I really started to feel like I was taking off.
Okay. So look, we about to hop right into this. I just got some questions for you. So who is the first person who it might not have been a person, it might have been a game, it might have been a year, but you just remember you in the game, you had your way that game. Like you left and you was like, oh yeah, I just went off. Who was that person or who was that game? What was that?
You know what? As crazy as it may sound, that game was against Michael Dixon. And he ended up graduating from Lee Summit. He went to Mizzou. That was like a big matchup for me. And
oh yeah, you spilling yourself.
Although we still lost, but I think I left out with a good amount of points.
Oh yeah, you spilling your folks said Michael Dixon across the way. He got a name. Let me make a name.
Let me get to it.
Look, so a lot of people who watch this, y'all might not know my brother, but he went overseas for a little bit. And he played high school ball. So really just kind of like from your freshman year of playing, just kind of tell us like your journey. Just like what you went through, why you're not overseas, the next step. Just give us a little rundown about kind of what's been going on with the hoop life.
Okay, so pretty much before graduating high school, I was selected to play in a couple of all-star games around in the city. And I ended up making those. Even one MVP, the one that y'all came out to. Yeah, one MVP there. But it was just because I was in a small school. We were one of the smallest schools in the district, so I kind of got overlooked. And then I ended up going to college out in Colorado. Me and Mom, we went out there, and that didn't pan out. It wasn't what they made it out to be. And then I came to Dallas, and I met some good people there, and I started playing for pretty much a semi-pro team out here in Dallas, and it kind of gave me some looks and some offers. And then that right there is what led me to go to the Dominican Republic. From those connects, and they liked the way that I was playing. I could have stayed out there the whole year. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I had to come back here and take care of business. So that's where I'm at right now. But as far as the journey, it's been a long one.
So as far as, if you want to go in detail, that's on you about what happened. But how hard was the decision to say, do I want to stay, in the Dominican Republic, or if you want to come back to Dallas? Like, how was the decision-making process? Like, how was that with you? How long did it take?
I actually sat on it for a good week before I made my decision. And I just figured that it was best for me to come back and take care of Zeke. That's my son. And so although, you know, I did have an opportunity out there where they wanted me to stay, and, you know, they were trying to accommodate for me and make sure that I was well taken care of. But at the same thing, I was thinking about my family, and if they couldn't come with me, then that's another thing that weighed heavy on my decision. Right.
So at the end of the day, you know, that was tough. That was a tough decision.
Yeah.
But you went through everything. That was cool. You got to go over there. You know, I might go over there. They need somebody like me, probably. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Who's the player who really worked you that game? You might have left the game, and you could have left the game like, man, he just killed me off. Or you could have left the game like, I made it tough on him, but he, you know, he did his thing tonight. So who was that guy? That first player that's like, yeah, I'm going to play a lot of these dudes probably.
My first player who I really got the taste of, like, next level, and he was already advanced.
Yeah.
It was my boy Alec Burks from Grandview. Hey, and he gave me some buckets. And in high school, he was kind of a guard, but he was a bigger guard. Still had to guard him, and he made it tough for me. And I realized, like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to get right. I'm gonna have to play some defense. Yeah. There's more people out there like that.
He kind of woke me up, for starters.
Okay, so what part of the game, just playing, when you being out there, when you playing off instinct, just pure talent, what part come easiest? Just the part, you know, some people early on or whatever, they're like, they kind of think about when they play, but what part is just, that's just going? I'm just out there hooping at this point. What point come easiest?
Just dribbling, creating, and just shooting. So once I get to a spot and I'm already there, then it just comes natural for me to score. Yeah. So I say the dribbling creates my scoring a lot easier.
All right, so a player in the league, or he can be whatever, overseas, just a player who played a game, who you did or do model your game after, or try to, you know, as close as you can, or are you one of the guys who take a piece from Lou Will, but you taking Kyrie's handle? You know, you trying to take all this and put it into your own game, or you trying to look at a guy and be like, right here, he got the full package. You know, I need to mimic that.
Most definitely. One player that I pay attention to the most, who I try to mimic, do everything out there, is Chris Paul. We not that big. You know, he uses his weight, but he can dribble and he can score when he needs to. So
vintage Chris Paul, not the one with the Thunder.
Oh man, well, he's still good too.
Vintage CP. But since you brought that up, man, I want to ask you this: since you brought up the small, being in the smaller guards, first of all, we're already small. Yeah. But then you talk NBA height, you talk things like that. You know, the 5'10s in the NBA is real different. So any advice to like smaller guards of something you have to get to that next level? You got to have this to be a small guard to make that next jump. What's that?
Most definitely would be a jump shot. You have to be able to shoot, because it's not going to be every time where you get a free lane and you can go in there and score. So if you develop a jump shot, then that will create more opportunities for you. You know, just to be able to score, to play more, and then to get other people involved too. Yeah.
Right now, 4 players in the NBA that you would make a starting 5. You're in the starting 5, so you got 4 guys you're running with. Y'all going to war all 82 games. Who your starting 5? Who your 4 that you picking?
My 4. Oh, that's kind of tough. Let's see. Man, well, of course I have to go with Kobe. Kobe, I got to get him at the 2 guard. At the 3, I'll have to say KD. He would make it a little easier for me out there on the wing. Down low, I would have to go Giannis. That's my guy. He creates so much for me. And then at the 5, of course, big Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
We got to have Joel Embiid down
maybe
there.
Shaq, but
maybe Shaq.
Not Giannis. You know, I'm not sold on Giannis. I've been saying this, not sold on Giannis. But since you just put yourself at the 1, my next question is, I see you play. I know that whenever we play a lot, you go to the 2. But you prefer the point guard or the shooting guard? Which one just, I know we were raised up as point guards, but when you get older, you start to score a little better.
Yeah.
You know, you might be like, hey, you know, the two guard kind of nice. But which one, if a coach was to say, hey, what position do you play? What you tell him?
I tell him shooting guard. I'm scoring straight off the bat. You know, I let the point guard pass the ball, create for others. But once I touch the ball, I'm looking to score.
It's going up. Yeah.
You know, I'm going all the way. I'm trying to fit the ball.
Oh, man. Your greatest memory on the court. Rather, greatest memory on the court. Just something that's like, when you look back, you might not know in the moment, but you look back, you're like, yeah, that was dope. You know, or like, you're going to always remember that moment or that memory right there on the court.
Honestly, the greatest memory on the court would have to be just my full freshman year, like of high school, that really opened up my eyes. And that whole year, like how you said, I was wearing Forces.
Well, high top
Air Force Ones. And I was out there, and that really is what sparked me to keep going, because like I said, I was out there in Forces. I was a freshman on varsity. That whole year was special.
You was just thinking like, let me get some kicks. Let me get older. It's a wrap, bro.
Man.
Look, let me tell you this one memory I have. It's so random, bro. It's not even like a big moment, but y'all are playing Grandview, and James was in the stands. He was behind us. You remember James? He was in the stands. And I remember, I don't know if it was crunch time or something, but you missed a free throw. Two things happened. You missed a free throw, and James yelled, and he was like, yeah, he can't make them. And Mama gonna yell back in the middle of the game, yes, he can. You know, like, so first off, why would she do that? But Mama always go to bat.
She do.
But second, I also remember that same game. Do you remember you missed a free throw and you cussed, and she asked you about it after the game?
Oh,
She's like, would you say at the free throw line? Like, that is just hilarious to me.
I remember that.
But one thing or anything you would change out of your whole basketball career, like the decision to go here, you know, just anything you would change that you, or maybe something you should have done more of, what is something you would change out of anything that's happened so far?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't change anything. I think the journey that I'm on was meant for me, and it has built character for me. It has taught me, you know, the little things, pay attention to the little details, and that hard work, you know, really will pay off. Like I believe this year, right here, I'm so close, like I can taste it. And then, you know, we all gonna be able to benefit off of it. So.
Well, you know, it took Pat Bev a long time. Your man Pierre Jackson, it took him a long time, but he's still, he's overseas. You know, he don't want to be in the league, but he's been going there for a minute. So, you know, hey, you gotta be battle tested. You're gonna come through. But look, man, I want to appreciate you.
Of course.
Being my first guest on For the Love of the Game, man.
You already know.
Y'all see, we went vintage. This is a senior picture right here.
Man, rocking the dreads.
With the dreads, man, with the #1. I was going to be next up at Belton. I ended up doing some other things, so I don't have a poster.
This dude.
But, y'all, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button over here. Tune into the last video that's right here. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll